Hello friends, how are you today? Sharon here from IRESTORESTUFF, the blog. It looks like I've got a shine on my glasses. Let me just take those off for a minute. There's construction workers banging outside that I just realised. They're hammering and all kinds of things, but that's okay. How are you today? We are ready for another DIY, and I'm doing the Stencil of the Month Club this week on my live. I can't wait to show you. Let me know in the comments if you are a member of the Stencil of the Month Club. I'd love to know. If you've never watched a live before on Essential Stencil here, let us know that too. I'd love to say hello to all our new friends. How are you going, Dawn? Who is that? Alina, I think I saw. Oh, there I can see more comments down here on my laptop. So how are you going? Hi, Joyce Ann and Connie, Crystal, Janet, Diana. Awesome. So bad news is we're out of coffee beans in our new house, and so I'm drinking tea. It's Lady Grey today. So let's pop that down and get started with our project. If you missed the notification that, well, I actually posted on my Instagram stories and on my Facebook page, which is IRESTORESTUFF. So if you follow me on all of those platforms, you'll see some of the things that I do. I love to upcycle furniture and home decor, and I love making signs with Essential Stencils. So I'm an ambassador here and love to show you the lives each week. So this is the Stencil of the Month Club for March. And some of you may have received it already. Some of you may not have received it just yet. But be patient, people. It's coming. Yes, there's some proud members out there. Lisa, thank you. You're watching. So I'm going to give you some great tips for this month's set. So let me just run you through, and if you're just joining, there are prizes at the end. If you've never watched a live before, we do have prizes here at Essential Stencil, giving away three lucky winners at the end of our live, so stay tuned for that, don't want to miss it. And also a bonus prize for someone who might be watching the replay. So if you are watching the replay, just comment the word replay in the comments and you have a chance at winning a prize from Essential Stencil. Don't forget to hit that little share button. I love it when you sprinkle the love around in our DIY world. Thank you, Connie. I saw that. Cindy says her Stencil of the Month Club set is on its way. Here's the cover stencil. So if you are not familiar, the Stencil of the Month Club sends out not one stencil, not two, 3 stencils every month, like stencil sets, I should say, because even within one stencil page there are several stencils. So here's another one. We've got spring sayings here, we've got spring vibes. Actually, I should put that on here and then you can see it better. See how there's lovely sayings? So there's like about 3 different stencils all within that. Actually, there are just hundreds if you really think about it, because look at this one. And we're going to have some fun playing with some spring or Easter card making today. I'm also going to look at the bonus and we're going to do some book stacks. So don't go anywhere, it's going to be fun. And do you remember this that I made for our little tiered tray week the other week? I'm going to show you how you can stencil something on a chalkboard. Let's see if I get through all of this today, hey? But look at all the different words and sayings that are on this. Now you could just do an entire, that would look really cool, an entire stencil just with that all on it. Or you can do what I'm going to do today and just break up. Now I'm not going to cut the stencil, because then it's too hard to find all of the little pieces. So I'm not going to cut the stencil, but we're just going to tape some areas and make some fun signs out of that today. So there's one. This is the second one that comes in the set. And then the third one is this with some other cute little sayings. And we can make some little cards and things out of that. Chillin', bunny kisses and Easter wishes. I like that one. I think I'm going to make this one into a card today too. So there's 3 large stencils full of lots of different little stencils that you can create lots of things with. So if you're not in the Stencil of the Month Club, use my code IRESTORESTUFF, which is in the description of our live and will be in the comments shortly, pinned to the top there. If you use that code, you will get your first 50% off your first month. Thank you, Jennifer, for sprinkling, and tag your friends who might be DIYers and love to do a bit of DIY. Okay, The other thing about the Stencil of the Month Club is they have a bonus. It's called an add-on item. Every month they offer a little add-on, and it's a optional add-on. So you can add it on or not add it on. When you go to the stencilofthemonthclub.com link, which is in the description of the live, you'll see there all the instructions and all the options for, you know, joining the club, whether you want to join, you know, 3 monthly, 6 monthly, 12 monthly, whatever the options are, they'll all be there. And this is the bonus add-on for this month. Now, I am super excited about this. And I don't know if you can see in my background over here. Oh, which side am I looking? Over here. I've got a little book stack because, as in their example on the back here, the lovely Jessica and Ramon are featured right there in the book stack. These are the lovely owners and founders of Essential Stencil. So they've done a sneaky little post there of our story, Jessica and Ramon. Isn't that just the cutest, in a little book stack? So when I get to this, I can't wait to show you how to actually put your letters on there, how to make words out of these cute little, we've got capital letters, we've got lowercase letters, and we've got all of these fun little icons and things down here as well that you can use. So, you know, use a little heart for a wedding themed book stack, or use a little pet paw for some kind of pet themed book stack. We've got music notes. There's so many things. Teachers, you know, the apple for the teacher kind of thing. They would make great gifts. And so this, totally recommend getting the add-on. Who else thinks that the add-on is just perfect? Yep, perfect size, love them, like the alphabet stencil. Amazing. All right. So stay tuned for that. I am going to get to the book stack, but right now let's make a few fun Easter cards while other people are joining in and popping in for the live. I'm just going to drop you down here, and I'm going to work sideways today. We've got the camera going sideways. And I'll try and keep up with comments on my laptop. Yes, Tony was excited to see the add-on. Yeah. And the regular Essential Stencils are all available at essentialstencil.com, and you can use my code IRESTORESTUFF there and get 10% off your complete order, including any of their brushes, including their wood tags. Now, some of the ideas that I'm going to show you today, if you remember, we made some wood tags for our tiered tray decor. Not last week, but the week before. I made this sweet October one with one of the mini tag stencils. But I want to show you how you can use these wood tags also for this, and you can get 10% off these from the essentialstencil.com site. You can use the Stencil of the Month Club stencils for your tags. So for example, putting a little Easter bunny on there, putting the word April on there, or you could make a spring one and we could add the word spring and add a flower or a tulip. So I was thinking of doing that today, but let's see how much we get done. First of all, let me just show you this little trick with the chalkboard that I stained for our tiered tray decor, and I found a word that would be great on here. Oh yeah, the word March fits. So you can do your tiered tray and create it, theme it for the month or the season that we're in. So I was showing you how you can change it up for different seasons. So I'm just placing the word March right here in the center, and I'm just going to hold it down with I'm just using an ordinary board chalk. You could use a chalkboard pen for this also. So I'm just going to trace the letters there on the word March. So if you've just joined me, we are using the Stencil of the Month Club stencils for March, and you've still got my computer told me on the Stencil of the Month Club site that I have another 12 days. You have 12 more days that you can order this set and receive that in the post for this month. So don't forget to add the add-on, which I just showed you before, is those little alphabet letters that you can make on book stacks. Okay, so I've just copied the font there. Now when I take that off, I can brush off the dusty chalk, and it does look a little dusty. Look at that. If I just blow that dust away, just do a little wipe. Now this will erase quite easily. It'll just rub off. But see how for this one, I don't usually fill in the spaces for the stencils, you know, those little bridges. But for this one, oh, I have to do this sideways. I'm just going to retrace over the exact font. You can use this for any of the fonts that you get with the Essential Stencil, this tip, for just making your little chalkboard signs and things, and then adding that there. There you go, so there we've got the word March, and we can sit that on our tiered tray as part of the decor with our little leaves and flowers and things around it. So I just thought I'd show you that tip. Then you can just wipe it off and start again for the next season or the next month. All right, the other little idea I thought of with the tiered tray decor theme was using this wooden tag and our Stencil of the Month Club stencil. For here, I was going to use the word spring, so we could use, we've got October here on the back, then you just change it out for spring and add the word spring, and I'm going to try and fit this tulip down here up next to the word spring. So let me try and work this way. I'm going to bring that word spring really close. Now what I do want to do, I did bring my painter's tape today, people. And sometimes I forget this, but it's kind of important today. We've got a lot of words that we need to kind of tape off around the side. You could use just a piece of cardstock. You know, I could get this cardstock and just lay it here, and then I would not get the words, but I think I should be okay there. Let's just pop it on just in case. And because I've got a kind of a darkish background, I'm going to use a white. Now I'm just using use a small Essential Stencil brush. Now the brushes are also available at essentialstencil.com. They come in a set of 4. And you can use your code IRESTORESTUFF, my code IRESTORESTUFF, and I'm going to offload my brush in a section that's not going to get stencils all over it. So I don't know if you can see that there, probably not. Sorry, I'm just loading the brush off. And I did see a couple of people, every now and then we'll post in our Stencil of the Month Club that they're just still getting bleeding underneath their stencils as they stencil. So I'm just reiterating that you really need a dry brush. So as I brush my hand, I can hardly see anything on it. You need a very dry brush. So I'm going to now just smush and swirl that in there, and I can see that it's actually probably too dry. I've wiped too much off, but that's okay. I'd rather have, oops, I probably need a little bit more paint. The paint wasn't quite wet enough. Less is better, because you can always add another layer or another coat. Concentrating here, sorry, just in case it all comes out at once. It's easier to add another layer rather than try and fix up the mistake of the bleeding, I find. So I try to just put hardly any on my brush, just on the tips of the end, wiping it off on the edges, and I'm rubbing that all in, swirling it around so it gets in the bottom of the bristles like that. And then I've laid it down here. Oops. And sometimes I'll just pounce it. Probably got a little bit too much on there. But once you've got hardly any on your brush, you can just start swirling it around. It really does take a bit of practice, I think. That's the key. And just practice on a piece of cardboard. See, I've got cardboard laid out on my dining room table here. I don't exactly have a, I was going to say I don't have a craft room in this house, but it's full of stuff. We've just moved. So there we go. So there's the word spring. And see how the lines are fairly crisp, because I made sure that I was wiping off as much as I could. Did I do that crooked? No, it's okay. It's okay. And now I'll find that little tulip, because I think the tulip would be cute right on the end there. And it just fits, guys. Probably not the best of spacing, because I would prefer that there's a little bit more of a gap between the tulip and the edge. And what I can do, let me just because when the tulip is dried, I might add a little bit of pink colour to the top of the tulip too. I haven't taped off here. It's a little bit daring. Okay, so we're using the Stencil of the Month Club stencil set, and there's a whole bunch of sayings and words to do with spring, Easter, the months that spring is in the USA, of course. I'm in Australia, if you didn't already know that. I'm in Australia and our seasons are completely the opposite of yours, so we are moving into autumn. There we go. There's our spring with the tulip, and I can colour that pink after that's dried properly. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you is just using cardstock. So I've got a couple that I've made. All I've done is I've used this A5 cardstock. So in Australia we have A5, it's 14.8. I think it's about 6 by 8 inch cardstock that you simply fold, and you can actually buy these ready-made. In fact, I've popped some in my Amazon store if you wanted to have a look at that. It's the Amazon store, and I can put a link in later. Just let me know that you want to look for that. And I've put in a whole bunch of things that you can stencil on, like that we used for the tier tray decor, these little chalkboard things. Let me see if I can bring that forward a bit. And some of this cardstock and ready-made cards that even come with envelopes, so that's a bonus. All right, so here is one that I just made earlier. Look at this, just a little stenciled card, follow the bunny, he has chocolate, and that came straight from our Stencil of the Month Club stencil set right here. I do like this one that says bunny kisses and Easter wishes, so let's do that really quickly. Now there's that plain brown cardstock, or we've got the black cardstock. This one's actually a really thick card. It's like a matting material, and that would be cute just framed with a gorgeous spring saying on it also. So the card that I'm using is actually the same color as the cardboard background that didn't think about that, did I? So bunny kisses and Easter wishes I think would make a gorgeous little Easter card for somebody. Who can you think of that would love an Easter card? You can think, oh guys, there's a bonus giveaway. Help us reach 250 live viewers and we'll pick a 4th live winner tonight, and we're up to 228. So you guys, I'd love you to just hit that little share the love button. Let me just do that myself. I'll do that super quickly. All I have to do is hit share, then share it to my page. And because I have a page called I Restore Stuff, and I'm going to share that right now, and I'm still live here with you, I do believe, and I've just shared it, and here I am. Now Diana says those are cute, would be great for grandkids' Easter baskets. Yes, absolutely. You can absolutely just pop these little cards in their Easter baskets. Follow the bunny, he has chocolate would make also, here it is, let me just pop that in here so you can see that, would make a great sign. And when the kids wake up in the morning, does anyone else put the Easter bunny footprints out on a path for an Easter egg hunt or something? So I'm just using the small, what is this, 1/2 inch stencil brush, and swirling around because I've offloaded my brush right there on those messy little white blobs that you can see on the cardboard. We're up to 224. Anyone? Oops. Just trying to catch up on your comments. You guys are leaving some lovely comments. Great conversation, and you guys have some great ideas. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the book stack idea. And I know that you're going to come up with some great ideas for book stacks, lettering and words and sayings and ideas. I just love that decor idea of the book stack. So we've got Easter and spring sayings in this set. If you missed it earlier, you can watch the replay, but I'll just do a quick recap. We've got 3 large stencil signs coming to those who are joining the Stencil of the Month Club in March. You've got about 12 days left to order this one. So this is it's got Easter theme, spring theme stencils, and a bonus add-on that you don't want to miss. I'm going to be showing you the add-on shortly. Looks like I'm running out of paint there. A little bit more. Okay, so see how it looks a bit less, like it's lighter in some areas than others, but it's a lovely, just a rustic kind of a look when that happens. I do like that. Bunny kisses and Easter wishes. And you could use your gorgeous bright colours if you wanted to. So there's some card ideas, and I'll just remove my tape from here. And it's a great idea to clean your stencils right away if you can. Just using a wet cloth is usually all you need. Sometimes I'll run mine under the sink, but often on a live I don't get to finish cleaning them, so I just do that a bit later. But if you are cleaning, just remember to, whoops, be very gentle with the back of them. You need to clean the back also, because that can sometimes make the paint go underneath, and then if I'm trying to use that on a different sign, you'll see the paint kind of coming through on the back. All right, so we've got just a quick recap, we've got this one with all the bunny things on it. That's the one I just did now. We've got this one with all the gorgeous words and fun phrases. You could even just take a section of it and put that on a card, you know, or just stencil the whole lot on a beautiful framed piece of art. Okay, so spring, a lovely reminder of how beautiful change can be. I love that saying. Now I'm going to use just this card stock here to create a gorgeous framed print, and I don't have a frame that I could find. Didn't have a frame that I could find to actually frame it right now. There's also spring vibes. That one doesn't quite fit on this for this purpose. However, this one fits perfectly on this. It's about a 6x8, I think I said earlier, and so does this one. Fits beautifully as well. So let's go with this one here. I like the centering and the framing of that. I'm not sure if you can see that pretty well. And I'm going to use a charcoal colour right now. Oops. I'm just using a chalk paint. It's just a furniture paint that we sell here in Australia. And using my 3/4 inch stencil brush. Again, rubbing the paint off. Thank you, Sonia. Thanks for sharing. Awesome. Gail says she misses hearing the birds on my lives. Yeah, there's no birds around here because they're actually building housing estate right around where we're living right now. I'm in a rental. So I think the birds have gone somewhere else. And we're hearing workmen instead. Okay. Just working across the letters. Now these are small typewriter font letters, so that's the reason I'm sort of pouncing a little bit and wriggling, because they're fairly small. Let's see if I can get a bit more paint on my brush. And offloading it till there's hardly any left. See my squiggly line, how it gets less and less paint on the brush. But yeah, the brush bristles need to get into those tiny letters and fonts, because the little dots above the I, for example, you kind of got to pounce and smush it around a little bit. Because if I just dragged it back and forth, that's how you would get paint underneath the stencil. So just be careful to sort of pounce and wriggle. So you're wriggling the paint on, and you can kind of see when you're a bit closer. Sorry, the camera's not as close as it probably could be. wriggling it around in the letters. These stencils are really good quality mylar. They're not going to break very easily. They're quite thick, good quality. So they will last a long time if you're gentle and careful with them, clean them, but just be really careful with those bridges, which we call the little areas of the stencil that you need to join to connect the insides of letters. So you can imagine that if we didn't have those bridges in the letter E, for example, it would just be a round circle without the little centered parts, or the letter O would just be an actual filled in circle if we didn't have those little bridges to make the center of the O. Fill out. All right. A little bit more on the brush. So what we're doing now is a few little Easter signs, spring signs. Yeah, the cardstock is a really good idea to have on hand, you know, all different colors. You could make some gorgeous, there are some gorgeous colors in cardstock out there and available. You could create all sorts of fun spring or Easter sayings that you can just pop this in a frame and then change it out for next season. And I love getting old frames, and I've got a few lives where I've done this, is old frames from, we call them op shops here in Australia. It's your thrift stores, charity shops, places where they're just getting rid of old picture frames. And I love to get ones that have interesting framed edges and paint them up, create a whole new look with them. You can even paint those up according to your decor and your season. Get some lovely furniture paint colours out there as well. If you are in Australia, I do stock a range of different furniture paints that you can get online in my shop, IRESTORESTUFF. I would love to know if you're from Australia and you're watching today. Goodwill bargains, yes, exactly. Sometimes their frames are just as low as like 50 cents or $1 each, and you can get some quite nice ones. And then you just can paint them up, change them up for each season. The smaller frames may even fit on that tiered tray idea that we were doing the other week. Now what would look really nice with this is a splash of colour. So not quite sure what to do there, but we could, I don't feel like I'm really the artist. Like, Grace is a lovely artist. She does some great art. But yeah, I would spring that up a little bit with something. Isn't that gorgeous? Saying, I love the saying. And I do miss my birds chirping too. Whoever was saying that. I love hearing the birds chirp. All right, so that's that one. Let us move on now to our book stack decor, because I can't wait to show you that. Now this is the bonus, no, what do I call it? Add-on. It's the add-on stencil for the Stencil of the Month Club. So the link is right there in the description of the live. Just cleaning my stencil as we go so you can see how we do that too. stencilofthemonthclub.com. Use my code IRESTORESTUFF and you'll get 50% off your first month. And this March stencil set is still available for the next 12 days to order, and there will be a section there where you will have an option to choose the add-on, which we're going to be talking about next. Oops, see, that's where we have to be really careful of those little tiny bits that might poke up. And that's my basic cleaning, and I will go ahead and clean that a bit better later when I can clean my cloth off a bit better, rinse it off. Okay. Here's our book stack. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, just making sure that's clean here. Can we see all the little fun things that we're making? Popping them all on there. Here's our book stack. So you can get books all the same size. That would probably be a fun idea. paper. No, Sharon's got one that's different. It's okay. It's okay if we've got one that's different. And if I'm going to do this, I think that I'll push that top one that's a little bit shorter all the way to one side, and I want my words to kind of come all the way down here. I also had a bit of there was an ink blob. These ones have had the spines removed too. You'll see that, I guess they call them naked books because they've got no covers on them. So that's like a bit of a trend in decor making. So books that are being thrown out. Now these are another thing that you'll find at your charity shop. And I know I'm a lover of books too, so I do love books, but some of these are just so old and no one's reading them and they're actually being thrown out. So we're creating beautiful decor out of them. And here is the stencil set that we'll be using for that. So this is the add-on. See how it's got the little word add-on up the top here? That's the bonus set that comes if you choose that at the checkout. Now if you haven't, if you order the regular Stencil of the Month Club stencils each month, I believe they give you an option to add it on at a certain time, or they'll email you, or you just email them, let them know you want the add-on this month. So let me just open up the set. Yeah, we're going to have some brainstorming, guys, because I know that you are so creative here in this group as we watch our lives. So, trying to get that out. It's stuck. And there's so many fun ideas that I've seen on Pinterest or on the internet. If you are on Pinterest, I'd love you to follow me on my Pinterest name is, again, IRESTORESTUFF. So find me on Pinterest. I'd love to see you there. I should have put my white one in the water to clean off. I am going to use some charcoal, this grey colour, for the sides of here. So we've got lots of different saying options that we could use. I'm just for this purpose, I'd love you to brainstorm in the comments though. What are some things that you could put on the side? The one that I'm going to choose today is just bless this home. Okay, so I've got to find the letters for bless this home. And so what I want to do is write that out on a piece of paper or something here beside me. And I don't have a white piece of paper available, so I'm just going to write it here on my cardboard. But B-L-E-S-S. And now we're going to write the words bless this home using these little fonts here. So bless this and home. And the reason I'm just writing it out is to get a bit of a visual. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Just to get a bit of a visual, and as I do my letters, I can like cross a letter off, you know, and because what I want to do is work backwards, because you could center it if you wanted to. There's so many different ways. You could actually center the book and put bless this home down here. What I want to do in the end is wrap some twine around it to give it a lovely decor look. I did have this ink spot that I've tried to get off with some tannin blocker, and Zinsabin is what I'll have to use after the live because I didn't have time to try again to remove this greenish ink spot. But you could cover that up with a lovely floral stencil or some kind of other thing there if we wanted to. So the trick is I'm going to move this to the side just for my purpose, but you can do it whichever way you like. There are going to be some great ideas, and I can't wait to see you typing in the comments some ideas for what you would what you would put on your words. Think about the different themes that you could use this for, decor for each season. So you could have a spring themed, something about spring. You could use one of the sayings that are on our other stencil sets. You know, birds chirping. What was the one we just wrote? Flowers blooming. Oh, how I love spring. I don't know, whatever might fit. You could do home sweet home on here. So let's just work with the first book. We'll do one book at a time. So my first word is bless. So I've written out bless right here. And I am just going to use all lowercase. Some people might want to put all uppercase, a mixture of both. I'm going to split the book in two. See if, no, that's not going to be a good way either. I have done this before and it is a bit tricky. So let's just see if I can get this where the camera can see. I'm going to work backwards. So we've got two S's at the end of the word bless. So right here, there are lines also, which are great for helping you to find where you need to be. So there's the letter S right on the end there. And I'm going to do my best of holding the book up straight. I could even use another stack either side, or you could lay it down here, but the stencil's sort of on it. And laying it down like this wasn't an option because the spine bends in like this. And so I do need it flat. So there's a little bit of a trick to it, but if anyone else has a great, better idea. Yes, Joyce Ann, I need a vise. That would be great, wouldn't it? Okay, this is hilarious. See, I needed a coffee this morning. Oh, you guys, at least you're having fun with me. Okay, I'm gonna get my stencil, and this time I'm just gonna pounce because I can't really hold it flat. Oh my gosh. Let me see if that even worked out. Oh, just a tiny bit. Okay, we're going to try something different. I am going to try using this sideways on the spine. No, guys, it's just not going to work because when I turn it sideways, the spine goes in. So I do need something, and I'm going to just put one of these books either side to make it easier for me to hold. Maybe that'll work. No, because I have to have it up high. And I may have to have a different brush that can just poke really right down into those. All right. You can tell I've gone quiet. Hey, I'm so concentrating here. Oh, yes. I think we have an S. We have an S, people. All right, so I'm going to put the other S beside it. I don't know about those books actually working for me. I do. Hey, Marty. I do need an extra pair of hands. Sandy, you are right. He's actually busy in the other room right now doing business stuff, on calls and all sorts of things. I actually told him to be quiet. Please keep his voice down while I'm doing my live. Don't think he was offended. Okay, I'm going to try again. I do need a bit of a vice grip here. It would work better on thicker books. I'm just going to say that. Wriggling really, really hard here. Probably I'm going to put a little bit more on my brush and then pounce it. So if you have less on your brush, oh yeah, see that's working a whole lot better. And these letters are the perfect distance apart. See how that, I did this one first. It's a little blurry. This one's better. So maybe by the time, thank you Jennifer, woohoo! So maybe by the time I get up here, I'll be good. Okay, bless. The next letter we need, so I'm looking at my visual so I actually make sure I do it correctly, is the letter E, and I'm going for a small lowercase e. And dip my brush in again, and remember I'm leaving a little extra paint on, so make sure you're lining it up with here, and they're a good distance apart where you won't stencil the letter beside it, which is what you don't want. Perfect. Oh, guys, I'm getting better at this. Thank you for cheering me on. Cheering me on, not laughing, okay? All right, BL. So I've got the L, lowercase again. I'm probably likely to mess that up at this stage. Now, when you think about it, I probably should have put this down a little lower so that I could leave room for the height of the L. You'll see what I mean. But there's always a first time, right? And so the next time we do this, it'll be a whole lot better. The L is just reaching at the top of that page there, so see how it looks. I tried to line up the bottom of the L with the bottom of the E. But just remember that when you're using, what do you call that, teachers? Teachers, help me out here. When there's the top of the letters and then you've got the, like a L would have a high point or a T, and then a Y or a P, they have those little bits that hang down. So I don't know if there's a technical name for that. Teachers would know. Less. Look, please, let's make this less into a bless. Okay, B. We're getting there. Oops. So I want to hear some of your ideas. And did I miss some? I may have missed some in the comments, guys. But think like weddings, think teacher gifts. So I've seen also people put children's names. So you could put the name of each of your children. Did anyone say that idea? So name of each of your children down each of, so you'd have, say if you have 5 kids, you have a book stack of 5. Or if you have 3 kids, you would do your book stack of 3 and then put each of their names down on the book stack. You could do a Bible verse. A baby gift might be the baby's name and their birth date and their weight and their length and that kind of thing. Thank you. Ascending and descending letters. That's a technical term. Thank you, Miss Teacher. Thank you so much for sprinkling, you guys. This is awesome. There are so many themes for this idea. Yes, engagement themes. Is that what you're saying, Renee? Yes, turn less into bless. So bless, our next word is this. So I'm going to take my next book, which is a little bit narrower. And I've got to remember that the T has a ascending and the H has an ascending, ascending letter. This. So we start with the S, and I'll make the S go a little bit low this time, down on the book. As far as I can, because this is a narrower spine. So when you're choosing your books, and you know, like I said, I just get them from charity stores or wherever that are really cheap books that, or the rubbish pile, I don't know. We call it rubbish, we call it trash. All right, so S, yeah, find books that have, oops, sorry guys, it slipped off. I'm just gonna have to do it this way. Squishing the book a little bit. Okay, so I've put the S down as far as I can on the spine there. So see, we've got a little bit of a gap up the top here, and I've put it as close as I can to the edge because we've got a couple of those ascending letters. See, I'm trying to use my right words. This, so we've got an I next. Oh yeah, these guys, they're really just fitting. I didn't think about that, did I? Now this one's a bit tricky because I'm going to have to do this around this way because the I is right over on this side of the stencil. You wait. Once we get this, it's just going to look amazing. It's just the getting there right now, okay? Tony, you have the patience of a saint. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm trying to be nice for you guys. There we go. All right, so remembering to put a little bit extra paint on my brush, and that helps with just the pouncing rather than the swirling that I like to do. And now an I, making sure I've got it all up the right way. Oh, I've got IS, so this, we need the H, which is right next to the I. You guys are wonderful. Okay, so the other thing that I thought of are those wedding sayings. Like you could put the couple's names on here too for a wedding decor even, at a wedding, displaying that on there, the couple's names and the date for their wedding. You could do some wedding sayings, or like happily ever after. What about some home sayings also, like, oh, not home sayings. Oh, another wedding one I thought of was our love story. There's verses like be still and know. Am I doing the H, guys? I think so. This is the word this. Sharon, remember what you're up to. Okay, I accidentally pounced over a little bit too far and got a bit of the G, so hopefully that's not too noticeable. Nope, not at all. Moving on to the T, which has a little ascending part. And I can turn it this way this time. It's looking good. Now it's his. Let's make it this. But you can imagine all the different things that you can get out of all of these. We could do grateful, thankful, blessed. Love grows here. I know there's a lot of essential stencils that have some fun sayings that you could even use those and recreate those sayings on these book stacks. Yeah, that's a lot better when I pounce, because I can do it a little bit more gently, and it comes out quite dark. So that's working great. And you know, it doesn't matter if there's sort of a little wiggle, higgledy-piggledy, is that the right words? Bless this. See, it's coming together, guys. The book stack is coming together. And now we've got home, or you could put house. I wrote down the word home, so let's just do that with the E. And this one's a larger book. You've just got to kind of remember where you lined up the end one and work with that. And those lines are perfect for helping you to line up exactly where you're going. Okay, I'm just using an ordinary furniture paint. It's like but you can use any acrylic water-based paint for this. Whoop. My book's falling over. I do need like about 5 hands right now, I feel like. Now that one, I think that's my most perfect E yet. Guys, I need some claps. Okay, home. And the letter M. Bless this mess. Who said that one? I just saw that in the comments. Rhonda, is that for you? Oh, that's funny. Yep. Got to clamp it. I'm just reading some of your comments. Other people have said the same thing. Bless this mess. Can you see through to line up the next letters? Yes, good question, Maggie. Yes, you can. You can see exactly right through there. Thank you for all the hand claps, guys. Oh, you're hilarious. Yes, you can see through the letters. So let me see if I can just pop that up here so you can see that. See how you can see the E after the M? Just under through there. You can kind of see it through. So that's where I'm lining it up, so that, yeah. And then I can just pounce. Oh, I'm a pro at this, if I do say so. Okay, home. So like I said before, it does have capital letters at the top, uppercase and lowercase, and all of the gorgeous little icons that you can find there as well. Now I've had enough on my brush that I could just do that one right away. Yep, there's enough there. And the letter H, which I used before. So then I can't see through to the next letter because I've got black paint all over the letter next to the H, the I. And I'll turn this one around because it's on this side of the book. Do that upside down for us. Last letter, and then we'll make it into a gorgeous piece of decor. Bless this mess, totally should have been what I wrote for this. Oh dear. Okay, pouncing that off there and pouncing it back onto here. And I just used a Stanley knife to remove the covers from the books, and I'll wash that off later. So I just used a knife blade. You could use scissors even to just cut that and then tear off. That's for the naked books, the ones without any covers. And you want to look for ones, so this is a tip 2, you want to look for books that don't have a title on the front page. So some when you take the cover off, it's got the name of the book there. So I like the ones that have got blank there. So now we have Bless This Home. I made it, you guys, and we'll just wrap some gorgeous twine around here. Gorgeous, well, it's just brown twine. But imagine how you could just change this up for each season as well. And you add your twine, but then you also add, say, flowers for spring or some autumn leaves for autumn. You could add, I'm just adding several layers here of this twine, and I'll cut that off. You could put Christmas, holly berries, things like that on here for Christmas time. What could you do for summer? Some more flowers for summer would even be beautiful. sunflowers or something like that. All right, so we've done our book stack, and you guys have got some great ideas there in the comments for all of the different words and things that you could actually put on there. I'm actually going to put a double knot right here so that it doesn't come undone. And if you wanted to also, now what another idea is so that your book doesn't move, see how mine, I wanted it to slide all the way to that end so that the book's all lined up here. Well, this probably has the chance of shifting a little bit, so you could actually glue those books together first before you tie them with the string. So remember, guys, to use the code IRESTORESTUFF at the checkout if you're joining the Stencil of the Month Club. Oops, that was a bit. If you're joining the Stencil of the Month Club, or if you're on the regular Essential Stencil page and want 10% off your products, use my code there as well. You'll get 50% off your first month in the Stencil of the Month Club. And this is the March set with all of the fun different things. So look at that. So I could have put a lot more twine on there probably. But yeah, we can just separate it a little bit and imagine something for the season just sitting here on top, a little sprig of something. Look, I don't have something really right now, but you know, imagine a little something on it like that. For Bless This Home. So we've got our ideas, some more ideas for the tiered tray decor. I showed you how to just use chalk with a stencil to create changeable seasonal decor for your tiered tray. I've got some of these in my Amazon shop as well, storefront. And this little card, we've made some Easter cards out of just cardstock. Great ideas there. And then just using the stencil sets, all the different words. I have not even touched half of the things that you could make with just ideas with using the stencils from this month's set. So it really is great value, 3 whole sets. So you can do that via the links that we've got there. Essential Stencil, there is 12 days left to order your March stencil set, so get onto that. Now we are looking for some prize winners any minute now for our giveaway today. So let me see if Essential Stencil has picked those yet. Thank you guys so much for joining in the fun. I just love chatting with you. I love seeing your conversations, even though I miss some of it half the time because I'm trying to do the project and I can't just watch all the things at the same time. But yeah, the little chalkboard is cute. I will try and get that link for the Amazon. Oh, here's our winners. It is Becky and Lisa and Amy. Please, guys, email following the instructions there that Essential Stencil has given. So congratulations. Becky, Lisa and Amy, congratulations on winning today. And if you're watching the replay, don't forget to comment replay within the next 24 hours and Essential Stencil will pick another winner. I'm just going to pop my Amazon affiliate store in there just for those of you who were asking about that. Whoops. And I won't see you next week, guys. We have got something on that I cannot make it to my live next week, but we've got another wonderful ambassador who's going to be filling in my spot. Can't wait to see who that is and what they do, but I will see you the week after. Can't wait. Bye.